Hey guys, so we're starting a new project today. I had my parents up yesterday to look at this back room that we've been wanting to kind of overhaul. It's got drywall and stuff up, but there's a bunch of holes in the wall, and some of the things are kind of silly the way that they're set up in here. So what we're going to do is rip some of the drywall down. We also need to make this doorway wider. So we were dabbling with the idea of not necessarily cutting it out, but I think we've decided that we actually have to. So it'll just make things a lot easier if we just make it a couple inches wider, because the problem is where, as it stands right now, it is too narrow for a washer and dryer to squeeze through. So we're going to cut it open a couple inches, make a little excess room, and then this way we can take stuff in and out right now. And someday when we do eventually move out of the apartment, we'll be taking the machines with us. So I am planning to try to cut out the door today. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time cutting away a couple of inches, and I think that I can do it myself, but we're going to see how things go, and we're going to take you along for the ride. So don't know how I'm going to set the camera up for this, but let's figure it out. This is what the doorway looks like. So I'm going to be bringing it out a couple inches on this side, because on the left hand side it hits the counter there, so we're not going to have any room for expanding it over there. So I'm going to cut this out a couple of inches. I got enough space there to work with for sure. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. So I'm going to cut that out, and then you can see there's a bunch of drywall and stuff in here, but it was never finished. So this drywall just looks like this. So we're going to rip some of the drywall out. We're going to box in that fuse box better. Behind that litter box there is an access panel for the shower, and we're going to replace the shower. So we're going to put a whole new valve and all new knobs and everything in the shower, because there's something, the valve in there is broken, so the water doesn't come out of the faucet and the shower head properly. So we're going to replace all that. We're going to replace all the drywall over here, and what we're going to do is once we get everything up to fixed and replaced, we're going to actually be putting up like wallboard. So it's just kind of like some nice stuff that you put in like laundry rooms, and it's easy. It goes up, you kind of glue it to the wall, so we'll have to hold it in place of course, but it should be relatively easy to put up. We're just going to do like a plain white wallboard. It'll be easier, and it'll work just as fast as doing painting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the two machines sitting here side by side on the ground, and you can see there's a shelf up there. We're going to put shelves up. We're going to put an additional shelf above that one, and then hopefully we can put one over here as well, but we're just going to have to wait and see how things pan out. Like I said, today my project is going to be trying to cut out this door and see if I can do it by myself. So my dad was going to help me with it, but he brought up the tools that I need to do it. So I'm going to see if I can cut it open myself and see how that goes.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
Renovations day 2, everybody. I managed to cut the 2x4s out of the wall. Now I'm just doing some cleanup here, and gonna have to go to the store and get some tools, and then try to put the 2x4s in here. We'll have to cut these off. So there was 2 of them here, one side by side. So I cut them off at the bottom and at the top, and I pulled them off. And what we're gonna do is I need to cut this piece off and this piece off, and then I need to take this pipe out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in just like it was, except it's going to be inside the wall, 2 inches further. So we're widening this narrow opening by like 4 inches or something like that. So it's going to slide back in the wall right where it is.
Yeah, I gotta take this piece out, gotta take the pipe out.
And then this right here. Once we take those out,
put it back in the wall further.
It'll slide in a little bit further. So we're just going to cut them out a little bit. This thing got dinged up. So I need to go to the store. In order to take that pipe out, I need to get a metal cutting blade for the Sawzall here, so that I can cut the pipe off. And then I pull it through the hole and it goes down into the basement. And then while we're at it, I'll probably check out a new threshold for the doorway, and look into the drywall. Yeah, we're gonna need a new threshold because there was a threshold here, but as you can see, it's gonna be too short now because it's gonna come out all the way over to here. So we're gonna need one that's like 4 inches longer. So yeah, very good. Hot diggity damn! We're off to the store to buy things. Oh hey, we got mail. We'll have to check the mail when we get home. But we're off to Lowe's. Let's go buy some stuff to do more demolishing work.
Oh, this is so bumpy.
Onward! Can't find the right threshold. We're gonna have to buy a bunch of this corner molding to go around the corners of the room and the ceiling and the floors.
While Andrew was shopping for blades, I found some Christmas decorations. I got a new mat to put in front of our door, and I found some pine cones for a wreath that I'm making. This is my oddly figured wreath. I just have to fix it a little bit, make the leaves look a little bit nicer. And then I'm gonna put some pine cones on there, maybe some berries, and I already put a little lamb there.
Oh, it broke off, yay! We had to cut it off, guys. See? Cut it off. Now I'm gonna go in the basement and pull that one down through the hole.
Yeah, because there's like this little knob left. Ouch.
Yeah, don't touch that, it's gonna be hot.
It's possessed. It's possessed.
Ready?
Yeah. I don't think it's working like he planned. Sounds like he's having trouble down there. Sounds painful. Woo!
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive.
Doing the same thing.
Hold me back.
This 2x4 down here.
Just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt.
Tap it in there.
Get me up.
It's too short, I gotta put a piece at the bottom here. But I just wanna
Make it a bit taller.
to make it a bit taller, because see how it's short here? Which isn't
Yeah, it doesn't go all the way out.
but
Look at that space.
so we got it in pretty even. I haven't attached it yet. Like I said, I need to put a piece down there to bring this up, close that gap. Though technically the gap probably wouldn't matter, but either way, close that gap. You need to put a piece on the inside so I have something to screw it to. Just gonna put your drywall on and throw your screws in it. You know, every so many inches or whatever. You can put some in the side too, but not too Gotta be careful with these ones because this isn't flush over here because of how I had to cut it off, unfortunately. But yeah, put the drywall up, tack it to it, and cover up the corners with the corner beads, and then mud it, sand it, paint it. That's what we're gonna do with this. On the inside there will be molding around the door, but out this side we're gonna have to mud it and sand it, paint it. Well, I'm pretty proud of myself. I got 2 things accomplished today. It was a good day. Well, in my defense, it was a bit tricky for the first thing and I had to do it very slowly, but I managed to get the doorway cut out. So I was able to cut out the 2x4s here. You saw it earlier in the footage, of course. And got that one placed in there. It's not screwed in or anything, but it's just there so the cats don't go getting in the wall. And then the second thing was I demolished this outer wall here. I took down all the drywall off of it, took all the 2x3s, actually they weren't even 2x4s, 2x3s that were scabbed all over top of the wall. And when my parents come up tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to rip off all of the mortar, or the, like the mortar, it's not called mortar, what is it called? Plaster. We're going to rip off all the plaster off the wall. And we're going to take out the tongue and groove boards that they used at the bottom. And we're just going to expose the studs and put stuff right on the studs. That's what they should have done the first time when they were doing this, but of course they didn't. They just took, like, I guess the easy route, even though they put up about 2,400 yards of 2x3s for some reason on the walls. Anyways, we're going to rip all the stuff off the walls. We're going to try to recede this fuse box back into the wall because there's a hole behind the fuse box. You can't really see it very well, but there's definitely a hole in the wall there. So what we're going to do is it's currently sitting on a piece of plywood on top of the wall. We're going to take it loose and we're going to see what we're dealing with behind, and then hopefully be able to recede it right into the wall. And then, you know, once it's receded, we'll build some type of access panel and a door for it so that you can, you know, properly get to it and it's hidden away and stuff. And we're going to hide all the wiring from the walls because it should have been ran through the walls, but of course, you know how they did these things. So, and I did a bunch of hard work today, like some of the stuff, so it's gonna save us time tomorrow so my dad doesn't have to help me doing it, like doing, you know, cutting out the door frame there, ripping off all the stuff off the wall here. So now he'll just come in the morning, we'll assess it, we'll know what we need to go get. We're gonna run to the store, get all the stuff we need, and then, you know, start putting everything together. And of course things are probably gonna take longer than we're hoping, but we're hoping to get pretty much everything done tomorrow if we can.
Yeah, that did not happen.
It's day 2 of renovations, guys. My parents are on their way. They're probably going to be here in like a half an hour or so. I'm going to start tearing this wall out, and then when they get here, my dad and I will probably run to the store to get a bunch of stuff, and Sarah and my mom will hang out here and maybe tear the walls apart. I don't really know. But yeah, we're going to rip it apart and then put it back together.
It's really dusty in here. I can't breathe. We got the wall pretty much teared out. Floor's a little bit cleaner now. Have to do part of this wall still. And I think some of this wall is being torn out too, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Hey guys, so I thought I would give you a little bit of an update. It is now Sunday and we ran into a little bit of an issue yesterday, and it was a major issue. We took off the breaker box in the back room to try to, because we were going to recess it into the wall, and when we did that we realized that everything was a mess and needed to be completely replaced for safety. So yesterday was spent getting that sorted, and we are still without electricity. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully have that be fixed today, and then we'll actually be able to start doing the construction on the back room. But it's a good thing that we found out that the electricity was messed up, because that could have been a fire. So glad we found that out, but it's being fixed, and yeah, it's good. But we had to stay over at my parents' house last night because we didn't have electricity, and it is chilly in here, and we brought the cats with us and they were terrified at my parents' house, so I feel really bad. But we brought them back here today. They're safe and cozy in our office while we get some work done. Andrew's parents are coming back, and yeah, so we're really behind schedule, but it's gonna be okay. Hopefully we'll get this room done before the laundry machines come, but I think we will. I don't think it will be hard, as long as once the electric gets fixed, we'll be able to start construction and we'll be fine. But yeah. So that is the update.